Welcome back to another class on the Treasures of Mishnayot. We are in Mishnayot of Perek Dalet Mishnah. Before we begin the Mishnah, the Kahati is going to give us a brief introduction in explaining to us which direction a person has to face when he is praying Shemona Esrei. Tiknu Chachamim, the rabbis instituted, Sheheh Adam Mitpalal Tefillah Shemona Esrei, that a person should pray the prayer of the 18 prayer blessing, b'me'omed. One has to do it standing. Upanav nochach Beit Hamikdash, and his face has to be facing the Beit Hamikdash. Davar zeh shetzarich lechaven mul Hamikdash, this thing that one needs to direct himself towards the Beit Hamikdash. Lamdu Chazal mitefillah Shlomo. Our rabbis of blessed memory, they have learned it out from the prayer of Shlomo Melech. Just like it was taught in the Baraita in Masechet Brachot Daf Lamed Amud Aleph. Now the Mishnah, meaning now the Kahati, is going to go on and explain to us different scenarios where one is holding and which way he has to daven. Haya omed bechutz la'aretz. If a person was standing outside of the land of Israel, now, which direction does he have to face? So he tells you, Yichaven et libo keneged Eretz Yisrael. Direct your heart towards the land of Israel. Comes the Rambam and he explains what does it mean to direct one's heart towards the land of Israel. You might think it's in your thought. Comes the Rambam and he says, no. Yachzir panav nochach Eretz Yisrael vitpalal. Turn your face towards the land of Israel and then go ahead and pray the 18 prayer blessing. Comes out over here that if a person is outside of the land of Israel, he can't just daven any direction that he wants. He has to be able to face the land of Israel and then daven Shemona Esrei that direction. Shenema, like the pasuk says, Vitpalalu elecha derech artzam, and they pray to you through the way of their land, meaning the land of the forefathers, which is the land of Israel. That's what he says, Vitpalalu elecha, and they daven to you, derech artam, through their way of their land, meaning the land of their forefathers. So whenever the people that are outside of the land of Israel davening Shemona Esrei, they're davening it through the land of Eretz Yisrael. Continues the Kahati and he says, Haya omed be'eretz Yisrael. What happens if a person was now in the land of Israel? Yichaven et libo keneged Yerushalayim. You should direct your heart towards Yerushalayim. Shenema, like the pasuk says, Vitpalalu elecha Hashem, Vitpalalu el Hashem, and they pray to Hashem, derech ha'ir, through the way of the city, asher bacharta ba, that which you chose, which is what? Which is Yerushalayim. So now we see another factor. A person is standing in the land of Israel itself. He can't just daven any direction that he wants. He has to face himself towards Yerushalayim. And then he's able to go ahead and daven Shemona Esrei. Now just pay close attention. Whenever we say over here, Yichaven et libo, which means to, basically, he should direct his heart. It doesn't mean only do it with your thoughts that you are towards Yerushalayim. No, you literally have to turn your whole body. Continues the Kahati and he says, Haya omed bi Yerushalayim. What happens if a person was standing in the land of Yerushalayim itself? Yichaven et libo keneged Beit Hamikdash. You should direct your heart towards the Beit Hamikdash, meaning you should turn your face towards the Beit Hamikdash. You would have thought to say, since I'm in Yerushalayim, I could daven any direction. Comes the Kahati and he tells you, you have to go ahead and you have to direct your heart, meaning you have to turn your face towards the Beit HaMikdash. Shenema, like the pasuk says, Vitpalalu el habayit hazeh, and they davened towards this house, which is the Beit HaMikdash. Continues the Kahati, Haya omed be Beit HaMikdash. What happens if a person was standing inside of the Beit HaMikdash and now he wants to daven Shemona Esrei? Yichaven et libo keneged Beit Kodesh HaKadoshim. You should direct your heart, meaning you should turn your face towards the Kodesh Kedoshim, the Holy of Holiest. Shenema, like the pasuk says, Itpalalu el hamakom hazeh, and that they davened to this place, which is the Kodesh Kedoshim. So we see over here 4 steps. Steps number 1, we have over here 4 steps. Step number 1, if a person is outside of the land of Israel, he has to be facing Israel. Step number 2, if a person is standing in the land of Israel, he has to be facing Yerushalayim. Step number 3, if a person is Yerushalayim, he has to be facing the Beit HaMikdash. Step number 4, if a person is in the Beit HaMikdash, he has to be facing the Kodesh Kedoshim. Continues the Katz, and he says, Nimtza, it comes out, Omed b'Mizrach, one who lives on the eastern horizon, Machzir panav l'ma'arav, he should turn his face towards the west. B'ma'arav, somebody who lives on the western horizon, Machzir panav l'Mizrach, he should turn his face towards the east. B'darom, one who lives on the south horizon, Machzir panav l'tzafon, he should turn his face towards the north. B'tzafon, what happens if a person lives on the north side of the world? Machzir panav l'darom, he should turn his face towards the south. Nimtza, it comes out, Kol Yisrael mechavenim et libam lemokom echad. All the Jewish people are directing their hearts to one place. Because you have to imagine, if a person is in the west or east or north or south, and each one is davening the opposite direction, it comes out that everybody's literally davening to Eretz Yisrael, where's Yerushalayim, the Beit HaMikdash, and the Kodesh Kedoshim. Everybody's davening right to there. Mishnatenu ba lelamed, our Mishnah comes to teach us, Keitzad noheg adam b'tefila, how should a person behave when it comes to praying the Shemona Esrei? Kishe'en be'efsharuto la'amod, when it's impossible for him to stand, ulechaven panav nochach hamikdash, and to direct his face towards the Beit HaMikdash. Now we are beginning the Mishnah. There is, am I going to be able to find it right now? There's a very important Mishnah Berurah in this piece. 1 second, if I'm going to be able to find it right now. There's a very important Mishnah Berurah that speaks about when we are davening Shemona Esrei, where do we have to look ourselves, like where are we davening? In which makom? Okay. It's a very important Mishnah Berurah. Second. Okay, so I found it right over here. In Simon Tzadik Dalet in Halacha Aleph, in Sivkat and Gimel, he goes on, if a person is not able to turn his face, what kavanah he should have in his mind. So he says like this, Yechaven libo, right, he should direct his heart, even though he's not able to turn his face towards Eretz Yisrael, Yerushalayim, Beit HaMikdash, and the Kodesh Kedoshim. But that's not what I want to show you. I want to show you this. Listen to how stringent or how severe this is when we're praying Shemona Esrei. It's one thing to know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is in front of you. It's another thing to be able to daven saying the words properly. But listen to what the Mishnah Berurah says. He wants to say like this. Sheyachshov bilibo v'ra'ayono. A person should consider in his thoughts. Rabotai, this is when you're not able to turn. Ki ilu hu omed b'mikdash, is as if you're standing in the Mikdash, asher b'Yerushalayim, which is in Yerushalayim, b'makom kodesh hakedoshim, in the place of the Holy of Holiest. In your mind, you have to imagine, since you can't turn yourself that direction. For example, I don't know, sometimes you go to a yeshua, or you go to the park, or you're davening outside, and whatever reason it is, you have a woman over there that is immodest, or you have pictures, or you have things that you can't turn that direction. They're going to interfere with your kavanah. So now you have to turn the other direction. You're not turning yourself towards Eretz Yisrael. Now you're going to go the other way around. Doesn't matter. He says when you're davening Shemona Esrei in your machshavot, when you're davening Shemona Esrei, you should look at it as if you are in the Beit HaMikdash, which is in Yerushalayim. But where am I? Where am I in the Beit HaMikdash, which is in Yerushalayim? In which place? In the Kodesh Kadoshim. In the Holy of Holies. I'm in the Kodesh Kadoshim. That's how I have to see myself when I'm davening Shemona Esrei. We all know that if a Kohen Gadol would have one little wrong thought while he was in the Kodesh Kadoshim once a year on Yom Kippur, they would have a rope around him that if he had a bad thought or a thought that disqualified the service, he would die on the spot. And then they would have to pull him out from the Kodesh Kadoshim because nobody can enter. But we, Rabotai, when we're davening Shemona Esrei, how many thoughts run like traffic, like the highway cars, 1,000,001 thoughts. Rabotai, we have to calm down. We have to slow down the pace when it comes to davening Shemona Esrei. If you're not able to daven Shemona Esrei because you have machshavot that are bothering you, remove them. That's what the halacha states. I don't want to get into halacha. This is not a halacha class right now. But remove your machshavot, remove your thoughts, then start praying. Don't just start praying. Let's say you remove the thoughts and you start praying and now they came. Don't continue davening until you settle them. I give you an example. Sometimes it happens, right? I'm in the middle of davening Shemona Esrei. Rabotai, I'm not perfect, right? So in the middle of davening Shemona Esrei, I start thinking about my learning because if I don't get it clear, it's very hard for me to continue davening. And it happens right after class. We have Aravit, or in the morning before Netz, right? We have Shacharit. If the question comes back into my mind, now it starts bothering me. Now during the davening, I can't continue just davening. I'll stop and I'll figure out, try to make some kind of compromise with myself that I shouldn't be thinking about the question and then continue moving forward. Or like other people have told me, sometimes when they're davening, they're thinking about their business. They think about their rent. They think about they have to do this and that. Okay, stop davening. Stand, settle everything that you have in your mind. Remove all the machshavot. Okay, fine. I'll do this once I finish. I'll do that. Okay, that's the finish. Now start davening. But don't continue davening when you have an unsettled mind. That you shouldn't do. Rabotai, we are standing in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You have to stand with Ema and Yira, with awe and fear and trepidation before HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You have to know that He's mamish in front of you. Comes the Mishabur in Simon Tzadik, Dal and Halach Aleph, in Simchat and Gimel, and he tells you what? I have to think that I'm in the Mokum Kodesh Kedoshim. It's a very big thing. Do we really feel that we're in the Kodesh Kedoshim? Do we have that in our machshava, in our thoughts, that I'm in the Kodesh Kedoshim right now? Where your thoughts are, that's where you are. So if you place yourself that you're in front of Kodesh Kedoshim, your Shemona Esrei will be 1,000,000 times better. I was in Israel with my family, Baruch Hashem, B'lein Hara. I took my older son to go see Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef Shlita, to get a blessing and so on and so forth. One of the things that Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef Shlita told my son, he asked him, tell me, he says, you speak Hebrew? He says, no. My son Baruch Hashem B'lein Hara, he goes to Yisod Yishurun. And it's a very, very, very big school. I mean, they learn Gemara, they learn Rishonim, they learn Achronim. They mamish learn. But Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef Shlita asked him, do you know Hebrew? Do you know how to speak Hebrew? He said, no. So he said, and what's going to be with Rabbi Akiva Eger? What's going to be with the Rashba? What's going to be with the Mahashal? What's going to be with... But he says, you need to learn Hebrew. Look at that, Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef is telling my son, at that time I think he was like maybe 13 years old, the importance of learning Hebrew in order to be able to learn Torah the proper way. In any event, why am I telling this? When we went there, we had the zechut to be able to daven with Rav Yitzchak Yosef Shlita, Aravit. When we davened Aravit with him, you felt what davening was. You were afraid to make a wrong move. Because Rav Yitzchak Yosef Shlita, the Rishon LeZion, then he was the Rishon LeZion. Now, it's his brother of David Yosef Shlita. But I'm just trying to bring out a point. If in front of the Gedolim, we're going to daven better, we have to try to program our mind, which is doable, that we are standing in front of Kodesh Kedoshim. We're mamish in the place of Kodesh Kedoshim, in front of Kadosh Baruch Hu, and we need to daven Shemona Esrei different than how we've been davening up to now. Things have to change. If you want to see change in yourself, then the things that you've been doing also have to change. Don't think that you're going to continue doing the same things and you're going to get different results. It doesn't work like that. You want different results, you do different things. Okay, so that was that. Now we're starting the Mishnah. Haya rochev al hachamor. If one was riding on a donkey, v'higia zaman hatefila, and the time of prayer came, yered me'al hachamor, he should come down from the donkey, v'yamod, and he should stand, v'yichaven panav keneged hamikdash, and he should direct his face towards the mikdash. Kemo shebe'ernu la'el, like we explained above in the introduction of the Kahati. V'yitpalal Shemona Esrei, then he should daven Shemona Esrei. So it comes out over here that if a person is riding on a donkey, he should come down from the donkey and he should direct his face towards the mikdash and pray Shemona Esrei. What happens if he's not able to come down? So that's the next piece. Ve'im eini yachol lered, and if the person is not able to come down, Kigon, for example, she'en lo mi she'ya'achez et chamoro. He doesn't have somebody who's going to hold on to the camel. V'choshesh, and now he's afraid, shema hachamor yivrach, maybe the donkey is going to run away. I'm going to come down, I'm going to be down with Shemona Esrei. Before I know it, the donkey is gone. In such a case, he tells you, Yachzir et panav, you should turn your face. Meaning, kolomer, meaning to say, Lo yared eli yoshev b'mkomo. Don't come down from the donkey, but rather sit in your place. V'yasev et panav letzad Yerushalayim. So let's say I'm sitting on the donkey right now. He says you should turn your face towards Yerushalayim. V'letzad hamikdash shebetocho v'yitpalel, and to the side of the mikdash, which is in Yerushalayim, and down Shemona Esrei. So let's say if I'm sitting on the donkey like this, and Yerushalayim is to my left, I'll turn my face like this. To my right, I'll turn like this. Now, if it's Rabotah, let's say it's behind me, so I guess I'll just turn the donkey, whatever it is. If you can't turn the donkey, so you turn. The bottom line is, if you cannot get off the donkey, it's not a problem. Next best thing is turn your face towards the Beit HaMikdash and Yerushalayim. Ve'im ene yachol lachzir et panav. And if he's not able to turn his face, Kigon, for example, shetzarich lasim lev l'derech sheholech ba, because you need to pay attention on the way that you're walking, right? So your donkey is walking, and you want to make sure that you know where you're walking. What am I going to do? I'm going to turn around now that way, or that way, and before you know it, there might be a pothole, and the donkey is going to go inside. Who knows? So what does he tell you now? The next best thing, yichaven et libo keneged beit kodesh hakedoshim. Direct your heart towards the kodesh kedoshim. Kolomer, meaning to say, yichaven machshavato, direct your thoughts. Shemitpalal keneged beit kodesh hakedoshim. Direct in your thoughts that you are davening towards the Holy of Holiest. B'gemora mevuad b'raita, in the Gemara they bring down a b'raita. Haya rochev al hachamor v'higi zman tefillah. If a person was riding on a donkey and the time for Shemona Esrei came, im yesh lo mi sheyachos et chamoro, if you have somebody that's going to hold on to your donkey while you're going to be praying the Shemona Esrei, yered lemata v'itpalal, go down and down Shemona Esrei. V'im lav, and if not, Yoshev b'mkomo mitpalal. Sit in your place and daven Shemona Esrei. Rabbi Omer, Rabbi says, Ben kach uben kach, Yoshev b'mkomo vitpalal. Whether you have somebody that's going to be able to hold your donkey for you, whether you're not going to have anyone to hold your donkey for you, doesn't matter. He says, sit in your place and daven Shemona Esrei. Why? Lefi she'en da'ato miyushevet alav. Because your mind is not settled. When you know you have to give it to somebody else, while you daven Shemona Esrei, you're going to always be afraid what's going to happen. Maybe he's going to run away. Maybe this is going to happen. So you're not settled. So comes Rebbe and he says, it's better that you daven on the donkey, whether you have somebody to hold the rein, whether you don't have somebody to hold your donkey. Don't worry about it. Sit and daven Shemona Esrei. Amar Rava said, halacha ke Rebbe. Rava said the halacha is like Rebbe. That whether you have somebody who's going to be able to hold your donkey, or whether you don't have someone who's going to be able to hold your donkey, sit and pray in your place. Mikam posek meha Rambam. No, Mikam posek a Rambam. From here the Rambam makes a pesak halacha. In Hilchot Tefillah halacha, Perek Hey halacha bet. Haya rochev ala behemon. If a person was riding on an animal, afa pi sheyesh lo mi sheyachez behema, even though he has somebody who's going to be able to hold on to his animal, afa pi sheyesh lo mi sheyachez behemto, even though he has somebody who's going to hold on to his animal, lo yered, do not come down. Eila, rather, Yoshev b'mkomo vitpalal, rather sit in your place and daven Shemona Esrei. Why? Kedei shetiyeh da'ato miyushevet alav. In order for your mind to be settled. When you're on the donkey, you know you're holding it, you're more at ease. With this we conclude the Mishnah. Now let's just go and do the Mishnah on the top. Very small Mishnah. Haya rochev al hachamor yered. If a person was riding on a donkey, he should come down. Ve'im en yachol lered, and if he's not able to come down, yachzir et panav, he should turn his face. Ve'im en yachol yachzir et panav, and if he's not able to turn his face, yichaven et libo keneged beit kodesh hakedoshim, he should direct his heart towards the place of the holy of holiest. Rabotai, have a great day. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen ve'amen.